Guys, please stop. 10 minutes ago, you never heard of me. But I've heard of you. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be in Philadelphia on a hot day in black polyester, speaking to you all for free. Anyway, you've never heard of me, but yes, you've heard of some of the work I've done. I've worked on The Simpsons now for 30 years. Oh, it's good to have you, Jeff. I got a shot of myself on the monitor, and I look like the creepy monk from a horror movie about the Spanish Inquisition. So you got me. Anyway. I've worked on The Simpsons now for 30 years. I just want you to let that sink in. If The Simpsons had been aging like real people all these years, Bart Simpson would be 40 years old. His mother Marge would be collecting Social Security. His father Homer would have been dead for 8 years. And somebody asked me, well, what about the baby? What about Maggie? And I said, gee, I guess Maggie would be a very feminine 31-year-old who never says a word. She'd be Jared Kushner. And, no, shame on us all. I hate to bring up Donald Trump, as I'm sure his parents did. And, by the way, I forgot to clear that with Drexel. I'm going to open with a Trump joke. So, anyway, it's fitting that this may be my last speech ever at Drexel. Because the first speech I ever gave in my life was right at this school. It was 20 years ago. Professor Abrams called me up and he said, the Beth, right? Ian Abrams called me up. He said, would you come to Drexel and talk about your work? Now, I was 40 years old. I was painfully shy. I'd never been in front of an audience in my life. But he asked me, and so I said yes. And it went pretty well, to the point that I've since given 500 speeches. 500 speeches. I've spoken at great schools like Drexel. I've spoken at lousy schools like Penn. That's a cheap shot. Just last week, I was speaking at a dumb college. I won't say which one. It was a University of Arkansas. And the question came up, do you have to get all drunk and stoned and wasted on drugs to write The Simpsons? And I would have ignored the question, but I mean, this is the dean of the college asking. And my little speech that I didn't want to even give in the first place, that speech has taken me all over the world. I've spoken in 22 countries, everywhere from Israel to India, Chile to China, Qatar to some other country that starts with a Q. Cuba. It's been a great opportunity and a great adventure, and it all came my way because I said yes to something I didn't know if I could do. It's the same way I got the Simpsons job. 30 years ago, I get a call from Matt Groening, and he says, I'm starting a new show called The Simpsons. You want to work for it? And I said, who are you? Who are you and why are you calling me? I don't know you. And he said, I'm calling you because everyone else in town has turned the job down. Nobody wanted to work on The Simpsons. Nobody thought the show would last. I didn't have a lot of faith in it either, but I said sure. And I said yes, and I took the job. So I got the Simpsons job pretty much the same way I got a wife, pretty much the same way I got this speaking gig. I wasn't the first choice, but I was available. And what would have happened if I had said no to the offer? If I had said no to the Simpsons job, well, right now I would probably be a funny lawyer. You know, the kind who gets a lot of laughs in court, and then his client goes to the electric chair for shoplifting. I actually told that joke in Saudi Arabia, and the audience went, yeah, so? But no, I know a funny lawyer just like this. We have a brilliant writer on The Simpsons named Dan Graney, and he is a graduate of Harvard Law School. And the only reason he's not practicing law today is that he had a rival at Harvard Law School who was so much sharper than he was. And Dan would write a good paper, and this guy would write a great paper. And I said to him, well, Dan, look at you now. You know, you got this cool job writing for The Simpsons. What became of your law school rival? And he said, he's Barack Obama. And I said, see? You've still got a job. Or take David Merkin. David Merkin is this wonderfully funny guy who took over The Simpsons after I left. And he's a terrific comedy writing talent, but he got his degree in electrical engineering. And I know he got a good education because he's a graduate of Drexel University. In fact, he's probably the one who should have been giving this speech, but you called me first, and I said yes. And so I think if there's a message to this whole speech, I think it can be summed up in 3 words. Ambition can wait. Ambition can wait. I didn't clear that with Drexel either. Ambition can wait. It's, you know, we can't all be Bill Gates. We can't all be Mark Zuckerberg, people with great vision and terrible haircuts and no scruples whatsoever. But we all know how to say yes. And so I encourage you to say yes. If an opportunity comes your way that is way outside your life plan, say yes. If an adventure comes along that takes you way out of your comfort zone, say yes. And if you see me at a bar tonight, and I ask you to buy me a beer, say get lost. This is your night to celebrate. Thank you, class of 2019.